Hello, I'm Colleen, better known as the Smart Cookie Cook, and today I'm in the kitchen for one reason and one reason only. And that reason, my little cookies, is pizza. Now, I don't know about you, but I love pizza. There is no greater food in the world, in my opinion. And frankly, I don't know how you cannot love pizza. Even if you're not a fan of the traditional cheese and tomato, there's so many variations out there that it's impossible not to find something that you like. Now, it just so happens that the pizza I'm making today is not your traditional pizza. We're going to be making a fully loaded double cheese pesto pizza. We're talking two kinds of delicious cheeses, walnuts, tomatoes, black olives, and instead of making a regular tomato sauce, we're going to use pesto. So, to get started, you're going to have just a plain pizza dough. You can either make it homemade or get it store-bought. The choice is totally up to you, whatever works better. Now, what you want to do is par bake the crust before adding any toppings to it. And what that's going to do is make sure that your crust cooks completely evenly, because if we just put the toppings on and pop it in straight away, there's a good chance that the cheese is going to melt and maybe even start to burn long before the crust ever cooks through. So, we're going to get this in the oven at 350 degrees just for a couple of minutes. And what I actually did was I put cornmeal under the crust of the pizza, and that's going to get this really crisp on the bottom like it is from the pizzeria. So we're going to pop our pizza dough into the oven at 350 for just a couple minutes until it starts to set and just begins to cook. In it goes. Set the timer. You want to make sure you don't burn it. And now we wait. There really is no definition of the world's best pizza, because pizza is one of those things that everyone has their own idea of what the ideal pizza is. For me, I like it thin, greasy, and with lots of cheese on top. Some people, however, like the total opposite, or I've even seen, especially in the central New York area, upside down pizza with the sauce on top and the cheese underneath, which admittedly is not half bad. You know, there's so many different ways to make pizza, and everybody loves something different, so you can't really say that one pizza is better than the other. Okay, our pizza's done pre-baking, so we're going to take it out right now and get down to the good stuff. Now see, there's not really any color on it yet, it's just starting to set up. That's what we want. So now that our crust is ready to go, we're going to get on to the good stuff, the toppings. So we're going to start with some pesto instead of traditional tomato sauce, and this is just store-bought, but you can make it homemade yourself if you want to get fancy. So we're going to take it and just spread it over the top of our crust nice and evenly. This is about 3/4 of a cup. Now, pesto, if you don't know, is a mixture of olive oil, basil, sometimes pine nuts, parmesan, garlic, lots of good stuff, and it's all pureed together. It's sort of like a sauce. So we're just going to spread this evenly to the edges here, but we're going to leave a little bit of the crust exposed so we have somewhere to pick up the pizza with our hands. I know the green color can be a little scary if you've never tried pesto before, but it's really good, trust me. And you can use it on all kinds of things. You can marinate meat in it, or you can make grilled cheese sandwiches with mozzarella and pesto. That's awesome. Now once you have this spread out nice and evenly, you're good to go with the pesto. And we're going to move on to my favorite part, the cheese. Now here I have two different kinds of cheeses, hence the double cheese part of the pizza. We have fresh mozzarella, which is a little bit different than the typical shredded mozzarella you'll find on pizzas. Slightly different texture, slightly different flavor. This stuff is amazing, and it's going to be nice and melty and creamy on our pizza. Then we've also got feta, which is a little bit sharp and tangy and salty. It's going to add a lot of bite to every slice. So we're going to take the mozzarella and just spread it out nice on the pizza. You can place it however you want. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. There we go. Now we'll do the feta. We're just going to sprinkle this over like freshly fallen snow. I've got about 4 ounces here. It has a very strong flavor, so a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so now the cheese is all set, we're going to do the tomatoes. These are just diced tomatoes from a can. You can use fresh if you want. I just find these really convenient because they're already cut up, and they've got a lot of nice flavor. So we're just going to sprinkle these on. You can use more or less depending on what you like. Some people don't like tomatoes, that's fine, you can leave them off. But it does provide a nice range of flavors to the pizza by adding these on here. And it's also really pretty with the colors. Okay, this looks good to me. And lastly, we're going to add these chopped walnuts to the top. I'm just going to sprinkle them right on. Now, if you think this might be weird to have nuts on pizza, trust me, it's delicious. There's a little bit of crunch in every bite from them. It's really awesome. This is about a 1/4 cup of nuts. And you could also use pine nuts instead of walnuts if you prefer. But pine nuts can be a little bit pricey. Okay, I do still have some black olives here, but I'm going to leave these until the end because I prefer the taste of them uncooked. But if you want to put them on before cooking the pizza, that's totally fine. So now that the pizza's all dressed up, we're going to get it into the oven. I've already got it heated at 350. Slide it right in there nice. And we're going to set the timer for about 10 minutes. You want to cook it until the cheese is nice and melted and the crust is golden brown around the edges. Best pizza I've ever had is from this little tiny hole in the wall called Lennon Joe's. It's here in New York, but hours and hours away from me now, unfortunately. Their pizza is rectangular shaped, which usually I'm against. I'm a circle pizza girl all the way, but this is a total exception. They have a nice sweet sauce that's really thin and crispy crust, and the very best part of their pizza is the cheese. It is the meltiest cheese I've ever seen in my life. I think they make their own hybrid cheese because I don't think you can get this stuff anywhere else. It's so melty and creamy and delicious. And the best part is, if you want, you can get American cheese on your pizza. Let me tell you, that is a mind-blowing experience. I gotta tell you, if you're ever in the area, stop by Lennon Joe's. Okay, it's time to take the pizza out of the oven now. It smells amazing. It smells like a real pizzeria in here. Get a good look at this. Tell me that doesn't look absolutely incredible. If you're not drooling, you're crazy. Let's get this over to the counter so we can slice it up. So now we've got to give this baby the finishing touch, which is, if you remember, our black olives. I have sliced black olives. I think they work a little bit better on pizzas than a whole black olive, but if you want whole black olives, I'm not going to stop you. Just place these on here however much you like. This is about 1 small can of them. And now you can see the pieces really come together. Okay, this looks perfect now. We're finally done. So let me give you guys the final unveiling of this beautiful pizza we made. Look at that. Look at all the colors, all the cheese. You can see that pesto underneath. It's going to be so delicious. I can't wait to take a bite. Okay guys, it's time to slice this pizza up. So let's get at it. Alright, I think I got my perfect slice right here. You know how everybody has a piece of the pizza that they eye at the very beginning and they're like, that piece is mine? This is it. So we're going to get at it with a spatula because it'll be a little bit less messy than just using our hands. Oh man, look at that cheese. That's what we like to see. Alright, it's time to take my first bite. Let's see what we got here. Cheers to you guys. Oh my gosh. That is so good. It's so flavorful from that pesto. All those cheeses are perfect on this. You can get that little bit of crunch from the nuts. It's awesome. Now you can get this recipe and more on my website, smartcookiecook.com. You guys gotta give this pizza a try. It's to die for. But no matter what you decide to cook, ask yourself this: how would the Smart Cookie cook?